Thank you. Well, Halloween is supposed to be a fun time, right? But it can also present some safety risks, and that's why we invited First Lieutenant Michael Shaw with Michigan State Police here to talk about how we can all stay safe. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Nice to see you on this early morning. So we got to ask, first of all, when we're talking about trick-or-treating, of course, it's all about the kids. What age do you think is appropriate for kids to be out on their own?
That's always a tough question, because I think we as parents, we kind of look at our kids and we can kind of determine based on, it's not really an age-based thing, it's more of a maturity type of thing. I think we all have some 14 or 15-year-olds that we probably wouldn't let out on the street by themselves.
True, right.
And then, you have an 8-year-old that's an old soul and maybe can be responsible. So that's up to the parents to kind of take a look at their individual child and determine, all right, do we want them to go out on that block or so, or maybe 2 blocks, and just know where they're at.
And regardless, though, it's probably always a great idea, though, to be in groups anyway.
Absolutely. You don't want to go out there by yourself. You want to make sure that you're with another group of kids, a big group of friends as you go along from house to house.
Okay. And what about areas when kids are going out there? What kind of areas do they need to avoid?
Well, I think we all know the rules from growing up. If the porch light's on, then that means that house has all the candy, and the porch light's off. That's not one that you want to go to. You also want to be on well-traveled routes. You don't want to go to individual places that, cutting through back alleys or through wooded areas. You want to stay in the most traveled routes where everybody else is trick-or-treating as well.
And when it comes to the outfits, we know they get super creative and they're always so great to look at, but it's really important to make sure that they are seen.
Absolutely. I think the old masks and everything that you could barely see as you're going through there, you're trying to walk around and kids end up tripping over, cracks in the sidewalk or things like that. Painted masks are better than masks, to paint their face so they can get a better look. Also, you want to look at their costumes, something reflective, even give them a flashlight or something, especially if we're talking, Chris was talking rain a little bit earlier. If it's going to be a little bit more rain, a little bit more traffic out there, so cars have an opportunity to see kids as well.
And also for the adults, a lot of people head out to the bars. It's also something to keep in mind.
Yes, for the older trick-or-treaters,
yes.
We just want to remind people it's okay to go out and have a good time. We've never said that that's a bad thing, but what you want to do is you want to make sure you have a designated driver that gets you back home so that you're not, worse, get arrested, end up in the hospital, killing somebody. Also, you want to make sure if you're that designated driver that you keep to your task and you don't change your mind during the middle of the event and then you're all stuck without a ride.
Yeah, and before you go, I want you to talk to us about this secure cities patrols that you're doing. What, in the 9th precinct? In
the 9th precinct. Our posts in the Metro Post, we have different townships that we're responsible for. In my section, the Special Enforcement section, we've been patrolling in the city of Detroit, Pontiac, Flint, and Saginaw since 2011. What we're doing is we're concentrating just in the 9th precinct. We've been there since January. We've had a double-digit drop in crime in that precinct since our troopers have been there working with Detroit Police Department to make it safe. And then just during Angels Night, we've been in the actual neighborhoods themselves, driving around there. Our troopers have been making contact with families, making sure they have a good time, but also letting the bad guys know that we're there and we're not going to tolerate any foolishness.
All right. Well, we are so glad you're there. Thanks for all that you do for our community, and happy Halloween to you.
Same to you.
All right, Nima, over to you.